Welcome back. Welcome in. I know we normally do the longer format novel review coverage videos. Um, yeah, released on a Friday night or whatever. But I think it's also important to incorporate short stories too. So I'm going to call these one shots. But just be whatever a shorter format of the same type of video with just basically random releases. Uh, Like, I can read a lot faster than I'll put out videos for the time being until there's, I don't know, enough of, response from viewers to make the longer format videos, or come out with them more often if need be. So, with that said, I wanted to cover a short story that I ran across, just recently after a re-edition by the author. So the story is The Statue by Eliza Fabricius. This popped up in my KU suggestions after finishing her dystopian post apocalyptic The Shattering, which was an amazing novel. Might end up covering that at some point on the channel, but this one really caught my eye and I was enraptured right away. It's a very short story, should take you less than an hour to finish, but let's get into it. So, what's the book about? The Statue is a dark, introspective short story about a man named Ira who is haunted by a past sin. His guilt, which has followed him for years, takes on a new form when his troubled son begins therapy with a psychologist who is the very girl Ira wronged in the past. As his life begins to unravel under the weight of his guilt, Ira is forced to face a truth he cannot outrun. The past is not content to stay in memory, and the consequences of his actions are now threatening to consume his family. Another addition I want to make to these videos is an author spotlight. I think it's important that readers understand a little bit of the author background. They've taken the time to put that in their bios, either on Goodreads or Amazon or elsewhere. So I think it is important to shed more light on the authors that are writing these books. So with that said, we're going to call this section Author Spotlight. Eliza Fabricius is an American poet and author who writes in the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres. Her background is particularly unique as she previously worked for 6 years as a test electrician on submarines and aircraft carriers. A self described lifelong learner, she is also a project manager, a scrum master, and has studied neuroscience and funeral services. She also previously published under the pen name Regina Bethery and has publicly commented on her journey as a writer, noting how the second edition of The Statue is a significant improvement over her earlier work. What sets this book apart? The Statue is a short story that defies its format with rich, layered tension and a succinct, perfect pacing that delivers an atmosphere of genuine apprehension. The narrative is thought provoking, packing deep meaning into every carefully worded sentence. The author uses a supernatural, or fi- psych, wow, psycho thriller horror blend to explore how an unresolved past atrocity can resurface and begin to tear a family apart. The story blurs the lines between mind and reality, forcing the main character to face a metaphysical form of judgment when all other avenues for resolution have been exhausted. How have readers responded or reacted? The short story has received a positive reaction from its readers, with a current Goodreads rating of 3.57 out of 5, based on a small number of reviews. Readers have found it to be a powerful and effective story that makes an impact despite its short length. And on my personal review, Eliza Fabricius' The Statue is a powerful and thought-provoking work that stands as a testament to the author's ability to defy format and pack profound meaning into the tightest spaces. It offers rich, layered tension that builds with every paragraph. At the heart of the story is an atrocity from the past, a tragedy that was never truly judged or buried, that finds its way back into the main character's life. The effects, long lasting and insidious, begin to consume his every thought and threaten to tear his son's fragile mind to pieces. When confronted with no other outlet, the main character is finally judged through metaphysical means that blur the lines between mind and reality. The pacing of the statue is a work of masterful precision. It is succinct and perfect, meticulously delivering its apprehensive tensions through a focused and brilliant narrative. The strategic use of every sentence offers enough insight to make the horror feel both immediate and profound. This is a story that skillfully blends multiple genres. It's a supernatural, psycho thriller horror blend that offers a quick, unforgettable setting. It is highly recommended for anyone looking for a unique and deeply unsettling experience. One of the other things that I want to start doing more of, and we touched on it in one of the other episodes, was to give some comparison suggestions in other media formats, as well as similar books for either writing styles, tone, mood, and possibly delivery. With that being said, some similar movies to this book would be The Babadook from 2014. It's a good parallel as it uses psychological horror and a seemingly external monster to metaphorically represent the trauma and grief consuming a family. Now, one of my favorites on this list is The Machinist, 2004. It's a direct comparison for its intense focus on a character consumed by guilt and a past sin, leading to a profound blurring of reality. And then everybody knows Shutter Island, 2010. It provides similar experience of a character investigating a mystery that is ultimately a confrontation with his own past, guilt, and a reality that is not what it seems. Now, some other books that might be similar, they are, would be A Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. The short story is a perfect parallel for its relentless exploration of a narrator's guilt-driven descent into madness. Another one is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. It's a good reference for its focus on a psychological haunting and how a place can affect the fragile minds of its inhabitants, causing them to confront their own inner demons. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. Like I said, it is a short story, and Eliza, packed a ton of narrative into a very confined space, and I thought she did an amazing job. The book hit a lot like those movies that we talked about. Specifically for me, The Machinist, your mind really, really goes off on the deep end when it can't process certain things, and guilt, resentment of your own self because of that guilt is a major one. And then I love the parallel to A Telltale Heart, and I think everybody, you're watching this video, you're on the channel, you know exactly what that book's about. I mean, guilt can be a very, very powerful narrative tool when constructing any form, really, of a horror story. In my opinion, anyway, because it covers, or it can be imbibed into so many of the subgenres. But with that said, we're going to wrap this one up for now. If this is content that you do enjoy, please consider a like and subscribe. That will help to get this channel to more people that will enjoy the content, especially readers, possibly even authors. The more focus that we can get onto new authors, specifically new books, the better it is. The more vibrant that ecosystem becomes. So please consider that. As far as this book's concerned, you're probably halfway through it if you already started. So I guess a question is to leave you with is, how did the author's choice to tell this story as a short story rather than a novel affect your reading experience? Just something to consider. I thought it was amazing. It could absolutely have been something novel length or even longer, really. But I think it was a wise choice to stick to the short story format. And once you finish it, I think you'll understand why. So that's it for today. And until next time, thank you.